Folks, that's it. The Dallas Cowboys are going to win on a heartbreaking fumble by Rachaad White to end the game. It was the second turnover of the day by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Bucs lose 26-24 to the Dallas Cowboys, and now their future playoff chances are with a win it would have been 90%. Now it drops all the way to 50%. I believe they have a 43% chance to win the NFC South right now, because right now, as of today, Bucs dropped to 8-7. The Falcons are first place in the NFC South right now. The Falcons are first place after this loss to the Dallas Cowboys. Let's go ahead and dive into it. Baker Mayfield, 31 of 43 today. 303 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick, was sacked 4 times. Now, I want to say this. I thought the offense certainly could have done better in some ways, okay? I do believe that. I think Baker Mayfield could have done better in some ways. I don't think Baker Mayfield had a horrible game today. I thought he played okay. I thought he played some okay ball. He was sacked a lot in this game. The offensive line gave up a lot of pressure. Honestly, it was one of the more bad games from the offensive line. I thought Mayfield played okay. The interception was a jump ball between McMillan and the cornerback, Jordan Lewis. McMillan should have came down with it. He did not. Okay? I thought Mayfield, again, played an okay game. He did miss a couple of throws here and there. There was a couple of times where he may have thrown onto the ball for too long, which led to a sack, but I thought Mayfield played some okay ball. Bucky Irving had 16 carries for 68 yards and a touchdown. Thought he played a very good day today. He's 80 yards away from 1,000. Mike Evans is 182 yards away from 1,000. So those guys are doing some interesting stuff. Evans had 5 catches for 69 yards. McMillan had 5 catches, 57 yards, and a touchdown. Rachaad White had 7 catches for 51 yards. A lot of different guys got the ball today. Just too many mistakes offensively, right? The interception was a mistake. The fumble by Rachaad White, obviously, at the end of the game, was a big mistake. Payne Durham had a fumble in this game. Thankfully, Baker Mayfield recovered it. Jalen McMillan had the interception, couldn't fight for the ball to get the interception. That was a bad play. Sterling Shepard had 2 very crucial drops in this game. One was early on in the game. It was 4th and 3 at Dallas's 48. Hit Sterling Shepard in the chest. He can't come down with it. The next drive, another pass hits Sterling Shepard. He can't come down with it. It was a 2nd and 4, I believe. On the next drive, he drops it, falls incomplete. So 2 bad drops from Shepard, a mistake from Rachaad White, a mistake from McMillan. It just all added up. I still will say the offense, I thought, played decent today. You scored 24 points. That's not bad ball at all, in my opinion. The Bucs shouldn't necessarily have to score 30-plus points every game to win a football game. But the offense did just make a couple too many mistakes and couldn't get out of their own way offensively. Defensively, I thought some guys had some good moments. I thought that Kalijah Kancey had a half sack. That was good. Yaya Diaby had a half sack. Vita Vea had some good moments. But defensively, you let Cooper Rush go 26 of 35, 292 passing yards and 1 touchdown. In the second half, yes, the defense did step up. They did. In that second half, you held the Cowboys to 3 points in the second half, right? That's great. I think that's very good defense, okay? 100% believe that. You've literally forced 4 punts in a row and gave the Bucs a chance to win, okay? That was after a pretty bad first half where the Cowboys only punted once and scored 23 points in that first half. So it was too much catch up after a lackluster first half defensively. When the defense came around, the offense just made too many mistakes towards the end of the game. You know, the fumble, the interception, it was just one too many mistakes in trying to catch back up. So I'm not going to say that this game was down to one thing or the other. It was a combination of things. It was the offensive mistakes in the second half. It was the bad defensive play in the first half that just kind of melded and combined together to have a very unfortunate loss. A very unfortunate loss when the Bucs can't afford an unfortunate loss like this if they do want to make the playoffs. Right now they're 8-7. If they win out, they go 10-7. Folks, that's not even a guarantee for them to make the playoffs right now. Because if the Falcons win their next 2 games, they're in. They're in. Simple as that. And the Buccaneers are on the outside looking in. They're battling for a wild card spot, which is extremely unlikely at this point. The Bucs need to win the NFC South. They need to. So they need to win their last 2 games and hope that the Falcons lose one of their last 2 games. That is the hope right now for the Buccaneers' path to the playoffs, in my opinion. In my opinion. This loss stings a lot. It stings a lot. And this is going to be one where if the Bucs don't make the playoffs, this is going to be one of those things you look at and go, oh, that's not good, right? That's not good. Just sucks the life out of you, right? They tried to come back, but they just couldn't get out of their own way in too many critical moments, right? In the first half, it was the defense couldn't get out of their own way. In the second half, it was the offense couldn't get out of their own way. Overall, I thought the team played okay, but okay is not good enough in this situation. In a must-win game where you are fighting and clawing to win the NFC South because the Falcons have the tiebreaker over you because you got swept by them earlier this year and they couldn't come through and finish it. And it sucks, man. It sucks a lot. It's a bad loss. It's a bad loss any way you slice it, any way you look at it. They can't lose another game. They can't. They have to beat the Panthers next week, who just took the Cardinals to overtime and won. They've got to beat the Saints after that. Honestly, I'd say the Panthers game is probably a tougher game than the Saints game at this point. But super, super, super unfortunate loss, man. Super unfortunate loss. It is what it is, you know? 411 yards of total offense from the Bucs today. 32 minutes, 48 seconds of time of possession there. 6 penalties for the Bucs as well. They had a couple of really tough penalties in there as well. It's just the loss came at the most unfortunate time. Really. People are going to ask, why didn't the Bucs run more in the second half? They were playing from behind the entire second half. I don't believe the Bucs had the lead at all. No, the Bucs did not lead at any point during this game. They were always playing from behind. You're going to pass the ball a lot in those situations. You just are. But this is a pretty bad loss. This is a pretty bad loss, man. And honestly, like, yes, the Bucs' playoff fate is still very much in their own hands, but it's also not as much in their own hands anymore. It's not. It relies on them winning their last 2 games and also hoping that the Falcons get at least 1 loss. So we'll see if that happens, guys. We'll see if that happens. But a seismic shift here in the playoff percentages, in the playoff picture for the Bucs and the Falcons. Tough loss, man. Tough loss. It is what it is. We'll see how the Bucs can rebound. We'll see. But a brutal loss. Yes, 8-7. Yes, the Bucs still have a winning record. But this loss hurts, man. This loss hurts any way you look at it. You win the time of possession battle, but you lose the turnover battle. The Cowboys didn't have a single turnover in this game. They had 7.9 yards per pass in this game to the Bucs 5.9. And really, those 2 turnovers and just a bad first half defensively were the biggest difference there, man. That was the difference there. So, it's a little bit of everything. It is. It's a little bit of everything. I thought the defense played well in the second half, didn't play well in the first half. I thought the offense played okay throughout the entire game, but a couple of turnovers, and that's it, you know? So, Loss, big, bad loss here. And now, really, the Bucs have to keep on winning, of course. They have to rebound and win their last two games, but now you got to hope the Falcons lose at least one, and we'll see if it happens or not. We'll see.